Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Tonight's double feature, should you mod your ride? Like, that's the question that Eric the Car Guy just asked. I've been asked in the past what my thoughts were on modding my rides. Now, I haven't had to do any vehicle mods to anything that I've owned in a very long time. Some of the mods that I've done to like my past Jeeps, which you guys have seen, where I've put snorkels on and other things like that. Yeah, you know, there's certain things that we're going to cover in today's video that I think might make a little bit more sense. But I'm talking about some of the other modifications. Tuning, chipping, changing the exhaust, putting on a bigger intake, porting, polishing, changing the stroke, putting a high-rise intake if you have a muscle car, things like that. We're going to go into a little bit of a detail of some of the things that I've done and some of the reasons why I don't do that anymore. So starting off in my earlier days when I was messing around with muscle cars, yeah, absolutely, high-rise intake. I would change out from Edelbrock to Holly, from Quadrupuke to Edelbrock. I would go back and forth. I learned a lot of ins and outs about the muscle car world and what all I could do, especially when it came down to port and polishing, balancing, you know, putting on headers versus having the exhaust manifolds on there, straight piping it versus having a catalytic converter in the way, things like that. And that was all well and good and fun, but to do it to a modern vehicle, I think you're actually hurting the vehicle, not improving it. This is going to be one of those, you know, back and forth discussions where we can agree to disagree. I found that not messing with shit is probably the better way of going about it. So for me, I'm a factory as fuck kind of guy, okay? If I can keep it factory or OEM, I will. Let me put a picture down here in the bottom corner. Now, I know this is nothing special, but it's my 2011 Volkswagen Jetta. And in this corner where I've put this little square, there's a piece of plastic that was missing from the front bumper. Now, I know that manufacturers reserve the right to stop producing parts within a 10-year period. This thing's still actually relatively new, and it's still under that 10-year mark. So I went directly to Volkswagen and ordered it specifically for my car so I can make it clean. I didn't have to go to a body shop. I was able to just put that plastic piece back on, snap it into place. You'd never even know. But the guy that owned it previous to me had got into a little dinger and lost that piece along the way. So I went ahead and I think I paid a little over $100 for it, got it stabbed right on, looks good. I've got some other interior work and things to do on it. I've got the airbag thing that I got to fix too, which I'm probably going to have to buy a seat for. I could go to a wrecking yard, I'm not going to. I'm just going to make sure I have enough money, and then I'll go ahead and buy one from the factory. And if I have to have it installed and have them reprogram it and do the weight calibration, I will. Because I want this car to be almost like new. For me, that's important. Now, when it comes to the water pump, timing belt, things like that, yeah, I'll probably go with some kind of coil kit or whatever's available and buy it aftermarket and buy it from Napa or O'Reilly's or whoever stocks it so I can do it. Same thing with the compressor. The compressor's shot. I believe it's shot. I'll put a compressor on it. It'll probably be aftermarket as well. But I always try to go after that OEM part if it seems like it's financially affordable. Now, if I can get it cheaper or 1/4 the cost by buying it from O'Reilly's versus ordering this part from the dealership, I will, to save myself a little bit of heartache. But every time I've seen somebody mod their car, whether it be to do a DEF delete, straight pipe, to change it from exhaust manifolds over to headers, to port, just there's so many different things that I've seen along the way. Lift kits, don't even get me started on lift kits. People that lift their trucks, they want it high or they want it way up off the ground. And I've seen these suspension kits put into place. You run into issues where you can't get it aligned or the suspension components fail. So then it costs you more money to buy a new lift kit, steering and suspension, stabilizer bars and dampeners, and you got to get the right angle. And it's just an absolute nightmare where if you would have kept it factory, maybe you wouldn't have had those issues and the vehicle could potentially last you a lot longer than you could expect. So for me, nowadays, yeah, I'm more geared towards keeping it OEM and factory. If that's the way it was made, then that's the way it should stay. That's kind of like my little jingle, if you will. Now, don't get me wrong, I like things just the same as you guys do, muscle cars, you know, putting on high performance parts. I have no ambition of putting a turbo on this Jetta that did not originally come with it. Not saying it couldn't be done. I have no ambition of doing it. Now, if it came with it and it had an issue, well then yeah, I would buy the OEM turbo and I'd put it on. That'd be what I would do if it came down to it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to change or alter or make the car modified for higher performance. I have no need. It is a daily driver. Like Eric the car guy said, I mean, he's had several daily drivers. He just finally got rid of a couple of cars that he had. Now he's got a new one he thought about modifying, but now he's thinking he might keep it as a daily driver and not modify. Eric, I don't think you're doing the wrong thing here, because I gotta tell you, I think cars last a lot longer when you keep them factory as fuck. That's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching. That's my 2 cents worth for today as far as if you should modify your vehicle or keep it factory. That's my 2 cents. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. I hope you're enjoying your work week. And stay tuned, because tomorrow is Gear Wrench Tuesday. And hopefully Jeff has got some new released material that he picked up in Florida off of his wish list that he created and purchased. So we'll see him tomorrow. We'll get the new Gear Wrench catalog, maybe a new ProTech catalog, and we'll go through it and we'll just check out what he's got on the truck. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. You didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Share if you want to share. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers and deuces.